So let's start. Maybe let's start with a short introduction. I'm David, and I'm a trainer of leadership and management. Also, my specialty is multicultural and remote teams, and also onboarding, including online onboarding. And I like many aspects related with leadership and management. And in my free time, I like walking on the mountains, so different kind of mountains and travel. And today with me is Janek. Hello, Janek. Hi again.
Hi guys. So my name is Jan. As I said, today from Kraków, usually from Gdańsk, but in this global world, we are not limited to a specific city. So my areas of expertise, usually software engineering. I used to be a programmer. Now I'm leading a team of programmers. So management aspects, leadership, and obviously HR, because each manager has some HR component. And my interest, traveling, music, and reading. Yeah.
Perfect. So let's see what we will talk today. So let's have a short introduction into the topic. And of course, the most time we will spend on tools and examples. So together with Janek, we will show you some tools. We will have some discussions and hands-on how to use the tools. Then we will talk about limitations. Because AI has, of course, many limitations. We will not touch all of the topics, but the most important for you for sure. And some other aspects of AI that is worthy to mention. So we will not discuss today topics related with how to implement AI within the organization. So we focus on how to use AI for you as a leaders, for managers. Yeah. That's a distinguish, yeah. So we will just touch maybe in a few places the topic related with implementing AI on the scale in organization. But that's our focus today is for you, how you as a leaders can use AI, how can it support you on daily basis. Yeah. When we will be speaking today about AI, so just please remember that AI is just a tool. It does not understand. It's a statistical tool, statistics on the language and on the images and so on. Yeah. So
at least for now.
Yes, at least for now, exactly. So the AGI topic is another huge one. Yeah. So, but it's worth it to keep in mind that AI is not something that understands the problem. It just gives the statistics on what is the best answer to the question. So let's start with one of the questions. Thank you very much. A lot of questions came from you in the registration form, and one of the questions asked was what skills leaders need to develop to navigate in this AI landscape. Yeah. So let's try to answer these questions by having a little bit wider look on that topic. First, I think the most important is the component is open mindset. So that's actually totally crucial for managers, for leaders, for all of us in many areas, for experts as well. So not only AI, of course. And open mindset, it means being curious, asking questions like what if, why, how does it work, how can I use it, and so on. And so willingness to continuous learning and to continuous upskilling of what I know. Yeah, so that's the foundation, I think. Yeah. I'm subscribed in a few AI mailing lists, and I can tell you that AI environment brings a lot of novelty every week. Every second day, even I got a lot of emails with what is happening, and there is a lot of happening. So the news I'm bombarded with the news all the time, and it's a huge topic. Yeah? So it's just you just need to be open and curious about what is going on. Yeah? And the second thing, the second component are the tools. So there are dozens of thousands of tools now. So it's incredibly high amount of startups. Often found that the founders of those startups are people that have huge experience, like ex-OpenAI leaders, ex-Google leaders, and many more managers or experts that have really great knowledge. Yeah? They are not celebrities. You cannot see them on the screens, but they are with a huge knowledge, and they usually they make their own startups, hiring 20, 50 experts. They get funds from a lot of places. Like it's quite easy to get the money for AI startup, at least in the United States. And so there is a huge number of tools available. Yeah? But for sure, in a few years, only a tiny fraction of them will survive. Yeah? So they have idea, they develop it, and let's see if the market will buy it or not. Yeah? So the tools, it's a huge amount of tools. We will touch today the most important, I think, for leaders and for managers. And the third component is skills. Yes. So how to write prompts, general understanding of AI. Yeah? So just to keep fingers on the pulse, and critical thinking. I think that's crucial, because it's absolutely must. If you use AI, you need to use critical thinking and just to check the facts if it's really the case, because large language models and GPTs are only statistical models. Yes, as I told you, they don't understand. They are not accurate. They may hallucinate. It means that they figure out things that doesn't make much sense. Yeah, so they sometimes give answers that look very professional but are false. Sometimes even total nonsense. Yeah, you can see in the first glance that it's a nonsense. Yeah, so you need to be very vigilant, and you need to use your common sense to verify what AI provides. Yeah. What do you think, Janek, of that?
And yeah, I guess that for sure the open-minded attitude is probably the most important here, because as you mentioned, tools will change as they always change, because we are just going further and further. And skills will change with tools, because I guess that new tools will bring new skills that will be needed to use them properly. Probably those skills probably will be less advanced that we need now, right? Because the AI is with us for years and for decades, I guess. But the current approach is just easy to use. It's not something very, very new, but it's easy to use. It's opaque in a nice portals, which allows you to ask questions and gives you answer. But yeah, it was able to use this sort of mechanism, but in a more, I would say, in a way that require more skills related to programming, right? So this probably will change, but still this division is quite nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. Thanks, Janek. So today AI is starting to be useful for widely for everybody. It's just the beginning. Yeah, I remember in 1999, 98. When I was studying IT, we had the whole semester related with AI, and that was topic embedded in 1970s. So quite really old. The AI topic is quite an old one, but there was not enough of computing power as we have today. It wasn't so cheap, so it was not available, and they had to have a huge knowledge to use AI. Yeah? So today is more and more available for everybody, and I hope I will show it together with Janek some examples of that. If you want to stay in touch with AI, just a few links for you. Later you will get the PDF, so you will get those links. So you can try and see what is useful for you. So I'm subscribed to a few mailing lists from that. So this is what I use. It's a nice overview for me. Maybe it's also useful for you. Okay, let's jump into the tools and business cases. So there were a lot of questions about tools, how to use tools, which tools, and so on. Yeah. So let's have a look. Let's have a look on a few of them, and let's try to navigate into this landscape. So as you can see, the picture I just generated yesterday with Canva. So that's Canva also is a tool that has implemented AI. So there are, as I mentioned, a lot of tools on the market. There is a nice website. I can show you that website. There is an AI for that, and if you look for specific, so that's the website. If you look for a specific tool, you can just write here something, or you can navigate for task, characters, for something, and so on. I think for you maybe it might be interesting. So there are tools for CEOs. And if you scroll down, so you can see tools for team management. So, and there are some AIs for different things. Yeah. So that could be helpful if you want to look for specific tools for specific skill. But it's also good to Google or to ask AI. Yeah. So we can many of us is Googling still, but many of us is using AI for some researches. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there is an AI to look for an AI tool, right? But and it seems it is, yeah. So some of my colleagues use AI, so those ChatGPTs and other tools as a more advanced Google, because you can obviously look for those stuff in Google, but the answer would be so nice, but ChatGPT can reinterpret it to suit better your prompt, right? So it is also a way.
Yeah, exactly.
With it.
That's a good point, and we will go back maybe to this topic at the end. I have a nice slide about how to search for sources using AI. So that's one of the topics. So that's a good one. Yeah. So you can Google or you can ask AI for that. So that's a nice one. So many tools are freemium. It means, so if someone doesn't know what is freemium, it's an IT term. It means that the basic service is for free. You can use it, but you have some limitations and you just have to pay for more options, more functions, or more advanced using this tool. So for example, ChatGPT is a freemium because you have some basic functionality. It's available for free, but for more advanced, you just need to pay for that. Yeah. And it's also good to know if there is a paid tool that you need to pay for some tools. You can also search for some freemium or free equivalent. Yeah, sometimes you don't need the huge tool. 2 free questions per day is enough. Yeah, you just need to search for it. So the most commons that I use on daily basis is ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity. And I can show you one case, yeah, hands-on. So there was a question from you during the registration. What are the most useful AI tools for PM available for free? Yeah. So let's use. Yeah, I will just copy and paste this question. Just a second.
I thought that PS mostly rewrote emails, don't use AI tools, but seems that world is changing.
Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, here. So let's ask the 3 different AIs. So it's ChatGPT, it's Gemini, and it's Perplexity. That's what I also do on my daily basis when I use AI. I use a couple of them and compare the results. Yeah, so that's also a good tip. So you get in GPT, you have this kind of answers, yes, with different tasks. So I don't see here writing emails. So yes, email management, yeah. So yeah, like there is, yeah, it's a good one. Let's see how Gemini took this question. So it's a little bit different. So you can see that you have also link for that, yeah. I think if you are a project manager, you can see that those tools are on the market longer than the AI hype. It means that Asana, Trello, or others, they just implemented some AI functionality in the tools. Yeah. And let's see the next one. Yeah, and the Perplexity. So Perplexity is a good one I use for searching the sources. It also gives here the sources. So if there is a statement about something, here you can also click to check the source. Yeah, what is it about? And it's a nice tool for also searching. So you can check what you like better, which tool is more convenient for you. Of course, it's developing all the time. For example, Gemini didn't have this link to the source a few weeks ago. I think it's something new. So at least I don't remember. I could see it, and I'm using it for almost every day. So that's also something new. Yeah, so you just use a few of them and see which is better for you at the very moment.
But I guess there is one thing that's worth to mention, right? That this shows tools probably based on popularity.
Yeah.
And and not necessarily the best tools that are for instance, used by professionals, because I guess those are the commodity sort of tools. There is no, Microsoft Planner or project here. Yeah, but I guess that for the project managers that try to manage bigger projects, they also use tools like Planner or Project or Excel, right?
Yeah.
But here is a sort of a commodity.
Yeah, so that's a good one. So let's see. So if you have doubts, where is Microsoft Planner? And you can ask for that, and then you have some more. Yeah. So it's a good example of critical thinking for the results. Yeah. If you think that, hey, there is missing something is missing here. Yeah. Or you can write something more. So that's a great one. Thanks, Janek. Let's see. What about Copilot? Yeah, let's just wait a second. I will show in a moment. I will show you now also interesting tool. Notebook LM is a very powerful tool. It makes possible for you to provide the source of the information where you want AI to look for the answer. Yeah. So before I show you how to do that and what is it, so you can add different sources. You can add the ebooks, audio files, links, whatever. You can also add the files, but be careful with that. Yeah, so related with your company, but that's a tricky one. And always remember about privacy and your company policy. So I would not recommend. Please don't put internal confident documents here or in any AI that allows to attach documents, because it will be then used by this model for training and for other usage. Yeah, so it's not good to do that. The best solution is to ask your IT department about details. Yes, what you can do, what you cannot do, what shouldn't you put, and so on. Because in some companies you have restrictions, and sometimes some companies are implementing their own private AI, so you can't do that things. Yeah. So I think it's something that you just need to remember. Yeah. So I will show you an example with Google, with this notebook LM. It's from Google. It's a nice one. So sorry, it's in Polish, but yeah, I think it's so you just create one, and you can send sources. Yeah. So I will, let's say, so I have 2 ebooks and 1 audio file with some talk about communication, emotional intelligence, and essential communication secrets. I will, yeah, so that's the that's something that I want my AI. I would like my AI also to use for that. So you see, it's processing all on the fly. I also would like that. Yeah, so there is a. Oops, sorry. I also would like one YouTube link, and there is a sponsors, but yeah, but it's about Daniel Goleman, the emotional intelligence on managing emotions. Yeah, so let's also add the link. So you can see you can add the link to YouTube or link to any other file or whatever, and it's now processing what is inside there, and it enhances the AI. So let's say we have the links, and now let's ask AI this kind of question. So basing on the sources I've provided, please help me with strategies. Let's say we have a problem within a team. Yeah? So help me with empathic communication in a difficult situation. I'm a manager, and in my team, 2 employees are in constant fight. They are making harsh comments to each other, and they point out every small mistake to each other. Yeah? So this is annoying. It destroys the atmosphere in the team and so on. So please support me with the tools, strategies. I would like to cooperate more efficiently. Yeah? So how to do that? Yeah? So if you have some issues, problems like that, you don't know what to start with, you don't want to react with emotions, you can ask the AI, yes, for the strategies. So, and what is important here is that you point out which kind of tools you would like to use, yes, like emotional intelligence
sources,
for leaders.
Right?
Yeah.
Sources, yeah.
Yeah, the sources, exactly. So, sorry, it's in Polish. I think I have some settings there deeply. some hard-coded, but
You're working with AI, so it seems that
yeah.
it's not, as you said, it knows something about you, right?
Yeah.
So
you can always ask to rephrase it to English, yeah. But it gives some advices, yeah. So it's like, yeah. So it's the same in English now. Yeah? You can go through it and take out the most important points. Yeah. There are some examples what should you say, what should not you say, according to those sources. Yeah. So
and this is something, in fact, pretty amazing, right? Because, for instance, you have your own style of dealing with people, dealing with others. You may also have some sort of a culture or corporation culture described in some documents, right? Maybe you have even some more detailed documents on how you would like to communicate internally. And by feeding this model with these sources, you can get some, very, very, very aimed, targeted advices. And what is even more amazing is the fact that it can go through this YouTube video. Probably it works on a way that it's extracting the audio and just recognizing the audio to text, right? So it's probably adding it as a document. And this is something pretty amazing because this allows you to, combine what you like, probably also what you don't like, because you can just put it away and get some targeted suggestions. Yeah?
Exactly, that's a good point. So you can feed also with your, if it is allowed by your IT department, of course. So please ask IT if it is allowed. But you can feed here, for example, your values of your company, the policies, and so on. Yeah. So it could be large documents, and you can feed this tool and get the answer that is in line with the company policy. What just came into my mind. You can remove those sources. You can add some sources like, let's say, Elon Musk style. And yeah, I want to solve this problem in Elon Musk style, for example. Yeah, so that would be totally opposite to
So you can also show contra examples, right? So how you shouldn't do that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that's really, you can have a lot of fun with that and play around. So today we just show you a short one, but for inspiration. So I hope that in the future you can also use it. Of course, what we show is for free, yeah? So we can it's nothing paid. Another few examples. So where it can be used. So this AIs that we just we just discussed. I use it often as a sparring partner. So if I don't know what to start with some topic, I just put it into AI, ask for ideas. So for me, it's a brainstorming partner, yeah? To generate some ideas, or if I don't know what to start with, I ask for 10 options, and one of them makes really sense for me, and then I explore it, yeah?
So it can be your manager that will challenge you. So you can just have this exercise with AI and you will be prepared for a real talk.
Yeah, that's a great example. Yeah, perfect. So if you want to prepare yourself with talk to your manager, for example, or prepare for whatever else, yeah? So you can ask.
Very, very tough employee, right? Or demanding employee. This also
Exactly. Yeah. So the opposite is, so you have a problem with employee, you have a difficult discussion, and you just describe the context. I will show you in a few moments how to do it in a way to get the more accurate responses. But let's explore how we can use it. Yeah. So I was leading a team across countries for many years, and this is the example that also you can use. Yeah. So I'm a manager raised in Polish culture. How can I give feedback to an employee that is living in the Philippines, that he's got totally different culture? And I know from my experience that talking too straightforward about some topics with people from Asia hurts them, and it's too harsh for them. Yeah? So how can I do it to ensure that it's effective but not offensive to them? Yeah. So you can even give example what you want to say, and then they can validate that. Yeah. Or yeah, like I'm leading a team of software testers in India, and they are silent during meetings. So I think that's quite a common problem with colleagues from India. We don't understand their culture, so we don't know why they are silent. So we can ask the AI, why is it so? What can I do to open them up a little bit to make them talk? Yeah, so also such kind of ideas. Or that's also something that relates to me. Sometimes when I was working in the corporation, I got emails that really pisses me off. I was so angry, and I wanted to reply to that email kindly and politely, but that was not polite because of the emotions. So usually I waited a day or two, or just didn't reply immediately. But you can write something and ask AI, please check if this is kind and polite. So, and it will point out.
Yeah, any sort of playing with text is I guess a very good very good example of how we can use AI, right? So not only multicultural teams, but also people, we are different, yeah, as a people. So you can also ask AI how you can rephrase something for an introvert or for an extrovert, and probably it will go through the web, chase the examples of such examples, because probably this is how it's going to work, and we'll do that for you, right? And maybe it will be good, maybe it will help you only to start, but still it's something quite good to begin with, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So it's more about we are entering the diversity topic. Yeah, so especially in IT, there is I don't know how it's in other industries, but in IT there is a huge diversity of people with some special needs. So we can also ask about that. So that's another great example. And Anna is also writing that. Thanks for the tip, because that was something we discussed about how to use it in this multicultural team or diverse teams, or being more diplomatic. So it's something in her interest. So perfect. I'm happy with that we discussed the topic that is on your interest. What I also use it often is to fine-tune the translations and find errors. So if I write something in English, it's okay, but the GPTs, they have much more possibility to check if the language is correct. Yeah, usually I get answer, yeah, it's okay, it's fine, but it should be slightly rephrased to be more understandable for the English readers. Yeah, so I then sometimes from Polish you just copy and paste some solutions which is not the best way of speaking. Yeah, so if you're not native, it's good to also check for translations there. Yeah, but you have to be careful. Sometimes they are not perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, well, one remark, right? So if the model is learned on what was able to find on the net, probably it's sort of a average skills in terms of using language, right? So probably it's also very good to give it a try before you will, for instance, use it in an official document. But still, it's something good to begin with, right?
Yeah. That's a good point. Actually, you can also ask a hint. Yeah, please be more like a business or casual or more academic or whatever. Yeah, so it can also change the tone. Yeah, tone of the voice of the writings, because it is feed with everything. Yeah, you can also ask for a slang. So I guess you will also receive something. Good, but be careful with that. Yeah, you always have to have critical thinking and double check. Yeah. It's also nice, like give me 5 ways of rewriting this text. Yeah, because if I write something and I don't like it, there is missing something, and I ask AI for a phrase, please work on that. Yeah, and I just pick the best from that. Yeah. Also, I think like it's also a good one. You're, I think, more familiar with that. Yeah, if you have a lot of documents, yeah, you can also use.
Yeah,
AI.
so it's a very good tool to make some synthesize text, right? Maybe even propose some shortcuts from policies, or just going through the code and refreshing the code, right? So I guess the overall comment is that any sort of a play with a text is, I guess, where the AI is very good on, right?
Exactly. So you have large text. It could be some incidents. It could be customer reviews from Facebook. Yeah, and you have a file with hundreds of reviews. You have to go through that.
Quite, yeah, it's if you, for instance, work in a maintenance and you have base of incident that happened to our IT system in the last 5 years, it can be very, very useful to put AI in a place and use it to find solutions to new problems, right? Because it will be better than all of those guys that work with this database, because some of them are new. They usually people are not fond of going through such history. AI will do that and will be happy. And you can also ask the model what happened, what I should do if the system shows me a message like that. And
Yeah.
if there were something like that in the past and it is written in an incident report, probably you will get the solution quite fast.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Pavel is writing that the AI is a great tool for self-learning with pretty low cost. Yes,
Yeah.
that's also a perfect one. So I even tried some time ago. I wrote a short I had a short discussion with ChatGPT to learn me basics of the Italian, and it was a nice lesson. So I asked him I asked it to make a few lessons and if to ask me questions, and if I'm wrong, then he asked me that once more. So after a couple of prompts, I had a nice lesson, for example. Yeah.
You can also try to use it in some other way, because for instance, if you have some custom reviews of your, for instance, product, and there is 100 of it or 1,000 or 10,000 of it, you can ask AI for the major trend, and it will go through all of those comments and extract what people are mentioning the most. And this is something very, very, very useful. Obviously, critical thinking, and it's not necessarily will be wise. And sometimes people leave comment, and the comment is not really what they were thinking about, but still, it's better than if you would have to go through those comments
Definitely.
on your own, right?
Definitely, it saves a lot of time. Also, I've heard recently a nice, very nice case. I'm not sure if it's but let's say it. So a team manager. So it was not a free tool. So he had to pay for a tool and set it up. So they were analyzing. He was analyzing the calls with customers, and so that was a sales team. And if certain words or formulas were used according to what was specified. Yeah, so that's interesting. Okay, let's move on. I have a question for you, all of the participants. So, how easy or how difficult for you it is to gain AI skills? So please click on the link on the chat, or if it's more convenient for you, you can scan the QR code. So it leads to Mentimeter. And on Menti, I would like you there, please mark from 1 is very easy and 9 is very difficult. So for you, how easy or how difficult for you is to gain the AI skills? And I will show the results in a moment. Let's wait a few moments with that. Yeah, because as we mentioned with Janek just a few moments ago, that years ago, the AI is like for at least for 50 years now or more, but it was for a very, very narrow experts only available. Yeah, it was difficult to get into AI for users, for regular people.
And what you have to remember, even the hammer needs you to gain some skills, right? It's not very easy to use it to do some nails, right? So with AI, you also have to learn how to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. It seems like it's in the middle.
But the division is very, very interesting, right?
Yeah. So for some it's rather difficult. For some is rather easy, but quite easy.
Yeah,
Not
but
very
apparently
easy.
there is some learning curve here, right?
Definitely, yes. Yeah, you have a good eye on that. Okay, perfect. Thanks. I will paste these results into the presentation so you can also see for the future. So thank you. So it seems it's not so easy. So it's still not very easy, but I think in the future it will change, and I hope so. So now I will have a short, quickly walkthrough for the paid tools. And this is something what Camila mentioned. What about Copilot? Yeah, it's a huge tool. It's a very powerful tool. if your company buys it because it's not cheap. Yeah, so not every company is buying the Copilot with the full possibilities. It's very, very expensive. Just one example how we can use it. So we have your manager, and you know that after 2 weeks of vacation, it's a disaster. Yeah, first 2 days you just need to read hundreds of emails, meetings, notes, and so on. Yeah, so this is something that Copilot can do for you. Yeah, they can go through emails. They can go through even online recordings of the meeting to get the most important SharePoint, some note documents, whatever.
It's quite good at that. It's quite good at that.
Yeah, so that's a very powerful tool. And if you work in Google environment, Google Workplace, it's very similar to that. So it's yeah. Also self-made tools, yeah. Like I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it's easier and easier to establish your own platform because a lot of models is available. You can just grab the model, put it on some hardware. Obviously, it needs to be not very cheap hardware, but still it's getting more and more affordable. And then you can, for instance, run your own chatbot or run your own subject matter expert if the model is fed with the proper content. Yeah. So yeah, it's getting more and more popular. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not yet the moment where we can do it just like using the internet. It's not yet so easy. Maybe for IT, because we just remember that we are from IT. So, but it's not yet so easy. But with a little bit of skills, I think you can do that. So there is a lot of free training programs you can learn, and you can do that. Yeah. Also, task.
Yeah, but you know, soon you will be able to ask AI to create your AI for your needs, right?
Exactly. So I will just show that in a second, because there is a lot of, I think task automation also is a perfect. So this is something that you said that please make an AI for something. Yeah. And I think this huge revolution is just starting, because agents, it's something that will just totally change the landscape. And agent is a program, is a software that is doing something for you. And yeah, you just speak to it. Yeah, you just don't need to even write. You just tell what you want, and the agent is doing. So not just one thing, but if you ask agent to do something, they should know what are the steps, which order, and to achieve the goal. Yeah. I can show you just a 1-minute video from Satya Nadella. I'm not sure if I have the voice. So if there is no voice, please let me know. But there should be a voice.
No, there isn't.
Sorry. Okay, so it just less than 1 minute. He just says that business applications will not be used this way as it is today. So you will have an agent. You will ask an agent to do something for you, and they will go to the Excel, to emails, to Word, to presentation. They will do the work for you. So you don't need to write formulas in Excel. You don't need to prepare presentations. The agents will do that for you. Yeah. So that's the change that is coming. Yeah. So the software that we are using now will be in the background, in the back end. Yes. And on the front end, there will be agents that you speak to, and they do the task for you. That's a perfect one. So you can later Google that. You will get the presentation with the link. You can listen the whole. It's I think it's 15 minutes long talk. I just wanted to show you just a shortcut of it. So that's really interesting, powerful. Yeah. Good. So one of the questions from the registration form was how to improve the quality of AI answers. Yes, and a lot depends on how you write the questions. So there is a lot of techniques, chat prompting. So that's a huge topic. It deserves a separate workshop, a couple of hours at least, to be more familiar with the most popular techniques. But I can show you just one example. Maybe some of you know it. It's the role. So first you ask AI what role it should be. So give a persona, then describe the context, then give an example and the style that you expect, and then in which format you expect the answer. So I have this example, like you're an role. So you ask AI that you are an expert in cross-cultural leadership and communication. Yeah. So the context is I am a manager from Germany. I need to give a constructive feedback to a colleague from China. I want to ensure my feedback is well received and does not come across too direct or too confrontational. And also you put an example, yes, that in the past I gave direct feedback to Chinese colleagues, and they were not comfortable with that, and they didn't speak much. Yeah? So it was not good in the relationship manner. So I want to adjust my approach. Yeah? Style, please provide insights in a professional, culturally sensitive tone, and just give some styles, yeah, with 3-5 best practices. So let's see. I will copy and paste that into ChatGPT, and let's see what we will get.
Yeah, it seems that we are going to have a college course for writing prompts.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
the
but
one.
prompt is super important, yeah, because this is a part of the model, yeah. So the quality of the answer very, very rely on the quality of prompt.
Exactly. So there is a lot of information about that in the internet. So you can Google, you can ask AI for that even, yeah. And you can see if you do it in the right way. So this is a powerful tool for you to get a good answer that you expect, yeah. So the answer is really detailed. We will not go through it. I just wanted to show you how it looks like, yeah. So that's the one of the. There are much more techniques, but it's just one of them. Just wanted to show you. Of course, you don't need to remember that. You can ask. So that's another question. You can ask AI for. Let's say you're a manager that received motivation and engagement survey with a low results. Yeah. So we can ask AI, please write a prompt for AI for this case. Yeah. So yeah, if you just copy and paste here. So it writes a prompt that should look good to ask AI. So AI is creating a prompt for AI. So this is your final prompt.
Yeah, and it also learns what those RSESIF means, right? So it gives this element of learning.
Exactly. So that's also, thanks, and that's really important because AI, it was not yet so last year, but this year they got memory. So even the free chats like GPT, Gemini, and so on, they got memory. It means that they remember the previous chats, they remember what you wrote there. You can switch it off, but it's nice to have it switched on, and they adjust to your needs. Yeah. So I just copied that prompt, and I can show you one more thing because in ChatGPT, for example, there are models. It means that there are pre-trained models about something. So this is the Discover models GPT, and if you are a leader, let's see, leadership, and it should look for.
So it gives a bit of personality to the answer, right?
Exactly. So I'll take the first one. It has 10,000 usage. So yeah, let's start it. It means that it is feed with talks from Simon Sinek, Adam Grant, Goleman, and so on. Yeah. So, and I paste this generated by GPT just before to my problem. Yeah, just a moment before, and let's see. So it is using this model is using the language that is used in those famous speakers. Yeah? And you can see the answer, what you can do. So I think if you're a leader or manager, it's not a surprise for you, but sometimes you find, okay, maybe that's encourage open door virtual office hours. That's an interesting one. Yes, because if we work remotely, we don't have a chance just to, if you work in the office, just go to your manager, or you open door for your employees so they can go to you as a manager. And if you say like, this is actually what I also used when I had a virtual team, that let's say each Friday from 9 to 11, this is the link, and I put this link in the calendar of all of my employees. And I said, okay, whoever wants to jump in, just jump in, and we will have a chat. Yeah. So that was kind of this open door virtual office. Yeah? So yeah, it's a nice tool. Good. So you can explore the models. Let's move on. So let's quickly go through the limitations and some weak sides. So yeah, I think in banking, Janek, you know something about it. It's not so easy to use AI. Yeah.
Yeah, there are certain usages that you're not allowed to use AI. Yeah, because probably the biggest disadvantage is that you don't know why the answer is like it is, right? You can go into details. So if you ask AI, for instance, give me a opinion of a customer, for instance, credit score, it will probably give you something, but it won't tell you why.
Mm.
So
So it's a black
this is
box. Yeah. AI is
yeah,
a black box.
it's a also the answer can differ, right? So it is also a problem between different prompts, very similar prompts. Yeah? So this is something that is probably an issue.
Yeah, exactly. So also it's not always precise enough. Yeah, in healthcare it might be a difficult. So it's a black.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So that's a case of United Healthcare. So we don't have time, but you can search for that. Yeah. So it's not so easy. Yeah. Also, as we mentioned a few times today, it's really important to have the critical thinking because we should not just copy and paste the solution that AI provides. Yes, we need to think if it makes sense. Yeah. What I'm doing sometimes, I use one AI against another. So the reply from one AI, I take something from ChatGPT, I put it in Gemini, and I ask, please find the weak sides of that. Yeah, what can you improve? What is wrong here? What is not correct? Yeah. So one AI against each other, it also works. It works best if it's trained
It
on different
helps.
data. Yes.
I guess it helps, but doesn't solve the thing, right?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. It's not it will not solve all of the problems, but if it's trained on different data, and I assume that ChatGPT and Gemini from Google was trained differently, it might help a little bit. You can see that, yeah, if you ask AI, sometimes it gives a good answer, sometimes nonsense because it does not understand. Yeah. So after that was a third question about how many letters in a word. And after 3 times, I got the mistake that there is 1 letter error, which you can see it's true. Yeah. Good. So one more thing I think is very important because AI also has a cultural bias. Yeah? And the large language models that are trained on the language, usually it's English, and the researchers, the scientists discovered that it's Protestant European English countries' perspective. Yeah. And there is a nice research about that, really good one about cultural prompting. So if you want to get answers related to your culture, you should write it straight away. Yeah. So you should say, I'm in this culture. I'm in Polish culture. I'm in German culture. Yes. I'm from Brazil, and I need a Brazil context here, for example. Yeah. So that's really
Yeah, so
really
giving
important.
a hint can help because if you won't give a hint, it will use the average source that it was learned on.
Exactly. So that's the research. It's a huge one. I had a copy, a PDF of that. It's quite a large one and really strong. So that's the more context, it confirms that the more context you give to AI, the better results you get. And this is, Janek, something that you mentioned that, yes, we can use also. You mentioned in the beginning of our talk, we are going to an end soon, so the time goes so fast. But you can see here that for if you ask for sources, different AI tools behave differently. Yes, and you can see. So I use Perplexity for sources, and it's really good in providing the sources. Others are not so good in that. Star. So there is at this point of time when the research was made. Yeah. Because it changes so fast. Now we could see that Gemini is giving the links to sources. I think now it improved a lot compared to what was at that time. Yeah. But again, you see how much bad answers it gets. Yeah.
It also shows that different tools are for different usages, right? So if you need sources, you probably should navigate to the engine that is strong in
Exactly.
providing those.
Exactly. That's a perfect summary of this. So use the right tool and don't use an AI for stupid things. So like this one. I think it was one of the first trying of how to use AI if in corporations, and there was in many places that it will write an email for you. It makes sense sometimes, like if you have a customer reply. So Janek, I think you have a good examples of that, yeah. But so it could be.
Yeah, sometimes we used to use that in my previous experiences, right?
Yeah, it makes sense if there is just like if you have let's say 100 of candidates and you need more personalized message to the candidate with some refusal that we will not take your CV into account. Yeah, for example, if you're candidates for a vacancy. And so
although we should remember that people are getting better at recognizing if something was prepared by AI, right? So 6 fingers or 4 fingers is something that gives a good hint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but don't use it to make the image longer or more beautiful and with all of the fireworks. It should be simple. Yeah, so just keep it simple. Of course, if you want to have it still polite or the cultural context, this is all important. But don't exaggerate with that. Yeah, it should be still simple. And you can ask AI for simple emails, yeah, or for simple translations for simple something. Okay, let's have a quick look on some other aspects of AI. So I think we just go through quickly. So it's a huge topic, the intellectual property. Yeah. So
and the picture tells everything, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So this is how it looks like. Yeah. And with privacy, so just remember that the chat history might be reviewed or used by the company, by the owner of the AI, yeah, to their needs. Yeah. So that's why we say that don't put your personal data, company information.
We
so
usually quite easy accept all of those rules and regulations of use of the portal, but there are very, very important things in that.
Yeah, so just be careful. And this is information that you might, if you go into ChatGPT, for example, or Gemini or whatever, you just get some information that chats might be verified. And also there are jobs. So if you look for in job portals, so people are needed. So people are reading what you put in chat and verifying. So they are training. So there is a job called AI trainer. So people check the answers and mark if it's correct or not correct, what should be better. Yeah, so they will read your answers. You can also turn it off, but how to do it, each model has a different way. So we can also ask the model how to do it. And one of the last things, I think it's important to know that there are prohibited practices. It is European Union regulation about that. But just to make sure that you're aware. And the last one, maybe just shortly, I think it's also important to know that AI is on different levels of maturity in different businesses.
Different industries, right? So for different solutions, probably you will face a different maturity of the model. For some of those, for instance, those some autonomous cars, the AI is on a very, very, very high, I guess, advanced maturity. But on some, it's still low, yeah? So probably it's going to change and we will witness this change. So it's important to be good at writing prompts. But who knows if we will need those prompts in 5 years, for example, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the AI may be in such a good shape that you just talk just like we talk and it will understand. Yeah, so we don't need this prompt writing in a couple of years. Prompt writing is important now, not maybe not in 2, 3, 5 years. Yeah, exactly. So just observe what is going on with the AI market. And a short summary. So we discussed today, first we started with the open mindset. That is the most important, that's the key to success, not only in AI, but in many other areas. We touched the ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and Notebook LM. So we had the hands-on how to use those tools, walkthrough of some examples of usage, and the prompting. Yeah, so this is what is important now if you want to have more accurate information, accurate answers. Some limitations, cultural bias. I think it's really important to be aware of that and to put it in context always. And we talked about the limitations and so on. Guys, thanks. It's about to come to an end. I'm really curious, but I have some things more in a second, so just stay with us. And I'm really curious about your takeaways today. So please write in the chat. I will be happy to see what is your takeaway from this session. Please write on the chat what inspired you, or maybe you learned something, or something was what was the most interesting part for you. So one thing that you take with you after this webinar, it would be great to see that on the chat. And in the meanwhile, while you write it, I would like to invite you to join the first ETTA Mastermind group. So this is the first ever open mastermind group. It means that what is it? It's later, yeah, you will have on the chat more details in a moment, but you will have the possibility to discuss the real cases of real persons. So these are small groups, 5, 6, 7 people. There are 7 meetings every second week, and you can share your problems, get advices from others. So Mastermind is a great learning opportunity. Currently, we have 3 groups. So leading a remote team, Gen Z at work, and international exposure, how to build that. So details are on our websites, and yeah, you have it on the chat. And there is a kind of discount for next 3 days. So I warmly invite you for this great opportunity. So we can see here the special code. Now it's much better price. Okay, and now I go through the answers from you. So Copilot usage, summary of backlog. Yeah, we just talked about that, but there is that possibility. So please try. Perfect, thank you. Examples of prompts and hints on the cultural context. Yeah, and Copilot support. Yeah, great. And preparation to the conversations. Yeah, this is something also. So actually, only your imagination is limiting the usage of AI. Thanks. One more thing that I would like you to just put in the chat, the link for later. So it takes 2-3 minutes. I'm conducting a survey about how do you use AI on daily basis. So how does it look for you? So you can click later on, and I will be happy to get input from you later. I will share on my LinkedIn the results. We don't have much time for Q&A. But yeah, thank you very much. And I would like to invite you for next free webinar. It will be on 24th June, and we will be discussing topics related with global leaders. So stay tuned. And I would like to thank you, Janek, very much for your participation today.
Thank you.
It was a great talk with you. I had a pleasure, and thank you for nice questions during the webinar. So thank you for everybody, and have a great day, and have a nice AI chats and discussions. Thank you.